completely obsessed with you. So, on this episode, I'm going to go through three things for you to focus on so you can stop obsessing and being attached to the masculine, to men. Maybe you're in the dating stage, maybe you're in the marriage stage, maybe you're going through a separation, or your guy that you're just dealing with is just not stepping up. You're going to want to do these three things. And for those of you that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha. Yes, I know what I'm talking about because I do this all day, every day. I've coached thousands of women in the area of really re regulating their feminine energy, their magnetic nervous system, their hormones so they can stay calm, unbothered, detached in the dating stage and in the marriage stage. And yes, this works because I attracted my amazing husband this way. I was a former single mama. I was widowed, single mom, re entered the dating stage way later in life. So I understand what that feels like, especially being a single mom later in life, re-entering the dating scene. It was just not fun. But I learned all the things that I teach my ladies now. And this is why my husband and I, who's normally here with me, Coach B, but he couldn't be here today. He's taking care of some business. But this is why we've had such amazing success with the women that we've coached. We have helped over 5,000 women to date. Many of them have gotten engaged and married. We have engagements and marriages every month. And a lot of them are single moms. A lot of them are women that maybe even haven't been married before, but were dating guys that they were dragging their feet or they had a hard time detaching. The guy wasn't stepping up and they implemented all the things that we teach. And of course, the masculine starts chasing them, pursuing them, wanting to marry them, giving them princess treatment. We've seen marriages turn around. We've seen relationships turn around. We've seen the wrong guys completely fall away to make space for the woman's true husband who shows up in his provider masculine energy, spoils the crap out of her, marries her, and is still taking good care of her. Okay. So if this is something that resonates with you, you are watching this for a reason. This came across your timeline for a reason because this is for you, girl. Okay. We're not going to be obsessing about men anymore. Okay. We're not going to stay attached to men at all anymore. And, Coach B, he was going to do this with me today, but then he had to go take care of something. And I was like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to do a nice little girl chat with the ladies. I'm going to give you ladies three things to focus on if you are struggling with detaching from a guy. Maybe you're overthinking. And I mean, he could be a great guy. Maybe you're in the dating stage and you just find yourself overthinking, obsessing, getting anxious, overanalyzing things. Or maybe you are, in a relationship with a guy, and we've seen this with married ladies too, where your energy is always coming towards him and you're, have that anxious attachment, or you're just overthinking, overanalyzing. You want him to step up. So a lot of the things that we teach here on YouTube and of course in our Feminine Energy Academy is really explaining what guys need. So let me just talk to you first about what the masculine needs to be completely obsessed with you, and then I'm going to give you three practical things for you to focus on today. So you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel so much more recalibrated just watching this episode. I promise you. I do this all day every day. So first of all, ladies, the masculine, he needs space to be obsessed with you. He's not going to be obsessed with a woman that is obsessed with him. Let me say that again. A man is not going to be obsessed with the woman who's obsessed with him. Oh, I feel like I need to say that one more time for some ladies in the back. He is not going to be obsessed with you if you are obsessed with him. He needs space to come towards you. Of course, this is not stuff that men are going to tell you. Of course, he's going to say, men are going to say that they want the women obsessed with them. But those are men that are in their feminine receiving. And this is stuff that my husband, Coach B, always talks about, right? Where the man needs to be more into you than you are into him because he needs that space to come towards you. Now, the challenge is a lot of the women that we attract in our community are the good hearted, hardworking, overgiving women, high achieving women, right? And high achieving, just to clarify. High achieving doesn't mean you have a bunch of accolades. High achieving really just means that you're a type of woman that you work really hard. You're striving to do things better. You love to give. That's really what a high achieving woman is. Yes, you might have degrees and you might be a boss babe, but you might not be a boss babe. And you're still the type of woman that loves to overgive. And so what happens is when you are now in the dating scene and you're such a good person, you want to give to him. You want to help him. You want to show him he's amazing. You want to show him that you're amazing. And you're doing all the stuff for him. You're helping him. You're coaching him. You're supporting him. You're doing all this stuff. And without realizing it, it's destroying polarity because the masculine, he needs that space to come towards you. So I want you to just, without any judgment, just ask yourself your patterns. Do you tend to overthink? Do you tend to get reactive or triggered easily when you're dating a guy or with the guy that you're dating right now? Do you tend to obsess in your thoughts about him? You're just wondering, what is he doing? Or why hasn't he texted? Or are you guys getting together again? When you guys are apart, you're missing him. Maybe you're low key looking at his social media, right, ladies? I know you because we coach you all day, every day. That's your energy coming towards him. Masculine energy is not going to be attracted to that. He's going to be repelled by that because masculine energy doesn't want to be penetrated by masculine energy, right? He wants to penetrate the feminine receiving energy. So how do you do that practically speaking? Okay. So there's three things I want you to focus on for 2026 that's going to completely shift everything for you. It does not matter if you're in the dating stage or if you're in the marriage stage. And also let me know where you're watching from. Okay. And you can also drop your questions. I will get to your questions as well. So the first thing, ladies, that I want you to start obsessing about, so you're going to stop obsessing about him. You're going to detach from him and you're going to start obsessing about your aura. And this is not new age. I'm not talking about like new age, funny woo woo stuff. Your aura is the energy that you give off. And everybody has this. This is like science based. It's not even woo woo, but the energy that you are giving off. And so a lot of times women are like, oh, I want a man like this. I want a man like this. I want a provider man. I want my man to, look like this and be like this and act like this and all this stuff, which is great. What type of woman do you think he wants? Are you embodied in that energy? Because you're not going to get what you want. You get what you're embodied in. So I want you to really pay attention to your aura and the energy that you're giving off. So what's going to affect that is your nervous system. So I want you to obsess about your nervous system. I want you to obsess about re-regulating your nervous system. So you're the type of woman who is calm, who is unbothered, who is confident, who is taking time re-regulating her emotions. She's not anxious and stressed and triggered about everything. That's what I want you to obsess about. That is what makes you so insanely magnetic to the masculine, where he just wants to chase you and marry you. Because you're the type of woman, you're not even bothered. You don't even notice if he doesn't call you back. You don't even notice if he's there or he's not there because you are so busy enjoying your life. You're so busy and you are so regulated within yourself. So this does not mean that you are numb. This does not mean that you have the wall up and you don't care. Like you've been burned so many times from men, from the exes, or this guy that's disappointed you, that now you're just numb. Like you just don't care anymore. That is not magnetic energy at all. That's going to show up in your energy field and people are going to feel that from you. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you have taken time and you've healed your nervous system, you've healed your man wounds, you've healed your inner child, your abandonment wounds, your anxious attachment wounds. Of course, everything that I teach you ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, you've actually taken time to do that. And now you can move through the day and it doesn't really matter what happens. You're not reactive to it. Like you're really practicing being calm and regulated in your nervous system. Because what happens when you shift from that sympathetic state to that parasympathetic state in your nervous system, you're calm. You get to relax into your soft receiving feminine energy. Doesn't mean that there's not stuff going on. Of course, there's stuff going on, but things don't have to be perfect for you to be calm. That's what makes you stand out as a woman. That's what puts you from booty call category and situationship category, and I just want to play with you like a chew toy category, to this girl is different. She needs to be my wife. I like when you're not around, I miss her. Like I need her. What does she need? Okay, do I need to move across the country? That's what, my husband did. Do I need to fly her out? She needs a ring on her finger. What is required? So this woman is always in my life because I'm just a better person and I feel better when she's around. That's what I'm talking about. That's what makes him completely obsessed with you. Okay? So the first thing that you're going to obsess about, besides him, when you're detaching, is your aura. And you're going to do that by really working on your nervous system. Another way to really work on your aura is just your hormones, your emotions, just your thoughts, what you're thinking about throughout the day, noticing what triggers you and noticing even relationships that maybe you should cut off, shows and things on social media that maybe make you feel some type of way. Maybe it puts you into comparison mode. Maybe it makes you feel depressed about yourself. It could be even like drinking or, other things. What are things that lower your energy? Pay attention to these things because those are the things that are coming across and other people are feeling it and you're not realizing it. Okay. So, the number two thing that you're going to obsess about this year instead of a man is your body. Okay, girl? Like you are going to have the biggest glow up this year, especially by summertime. Like, lock her in right now. You are so confident in your body. This is why I got into feminine energy coaching and relationship coaching because I started off helping women healing their hormones, reversing PCOS and diabetes and stubborn belly fat and perimenopause and menopause issues. And then what I noticed was because we weren't thinking about the guys, I was helping the ladies just focus on themselves. That was it. And all the men were coming after them. The exes were coming back, new men were coming into their life. Why? Because they weren't obsessing about the guy. They were obsessing about themselves in a healthy way, in a really healthy way. Because the women that I attract are the women that are overgivers. They're the women that abandon themselves, they abandon their boundaries, they lower their standards to make a guy happy, to people please. And when I start working with them, they stop doing all those things. And then now they become so magnetic and people just want to work with them. People just want to date them. People just want to marry them. So I'm telling you, girl, this is a proven method, is obsessing about your body. Plus, I was talking to my husband about this before. He had to go take care of some stuff this morning. And I was like, it's just easier for the woman when she's hot. As a woman, and there's different types of pretty. It's not about being a certain type of look at all. You are the perfect type of pretty for your husband. I promise you that, okay? But it's about you actually believing that you're hot. You actually taking care of yourself like you're hot. If you don't believe you're hot, what makes you think other guys are going to think you're hot, girl? Once again, it's not about looking perfect. It's not about looking like anybody else. It's about looking like you, but the best version of you. And you are oozing this confidence like, yeah, I'm hot. I'm the perfect type of pretty for my husband. This is why I did not stress at all when we went through that detachment period, my husband and I, when we were dating. And people are like, oh, were you worried if he was talking to other girls? No, I could care less. Why? Because I was confident in myself. I know I'm the perfect type of person. I'm the perfect type of pretty for my husband. It's either him or someone else. So that's the energy you need to be embodied in. And if you're struggling with that, which a lot of women do, like, you're like, I don't like my body. I need to lose some weight. Maybe you've let yourself go. Okay, don't judge yourself because judging yourself is going to dysregulate your nervous system and you're just going to hide in shame and then you're going to emotionally eat, right? Or you're going to be on binge, you're going to be binge eating, you're going to be yo-yo diet. That's not what I'm talking about. I want you to pause and be like, okay, what does the hot version of me look and feel like? Maybe you do want to lose a few pounds. There's nothing wrong with that. You're doing it from a place of love. You're doing it because you've been carrying around weight that is not yours. Let me say that again. You might be carrying around weight that is not yours. It could be emotional weight. I mean, it's likely emotional weight, and it's translated into hormonal weight and just baggage. It's time to release it, girl. I mean, the summer is coming up in a few months. How do you want to feel this summer? You want to feel confident, whether there's a guy there or not, right? You want to feel so confident moving around with your girlfriends, maybe going on trips, going out to the park, going out to events, out for dinner, just going for nice walks. You want to feel so good in your body as a woman. I don't care if you're 75 watching this, because we got 75-year-old women rotationally dating in my programs, in your 60s, your 50s, your 40s, your 30s, or your 20s. That is your edge as a woman. When you look good and you feel good, you show up with such different energy. And now you, like, babe, when you're confident in yourself and you're confident with how you look, you're walking into rooms differently. You're showing up on dates differently. You're not stressed about if a guy's called you or hasn't called you, because you know there's a lineup of other men that want to date you. Okay. That's the energy you need to be in. And if you're not in that energy, then I invite you to be in my Feminine Energy Academy, because we got work to do, girl. We need to work on that. Don't worry about the guy. We need to work on you. We got to work on your aura. We got to work on your nervous system, your hormones, and we got to help you have a glow up so that you actually feel confident, so you actually feel hot. And for my ladies that are married, that doesn't stop when you're married, girl. And that is how I'm doing this marriage completely differently than my first marriage. My first marriage, I was the nice girl in the sense of, I was caretaking, I was taking care of all the kids. I had 4 babies in 5 years. And I was just in mom mode. And there's nothing wrong with being in mom mode. I'm still in mom mode. But I don't abandon myself anymore. I make sure I take care of myself. I have breaks. I go to the gym. I work out. I eat properly. I'm on all my peptides. And now I'm on a GLP, which I freaking love, by the way. And I'm just, I'm aging backwards. And that's different now, because so now in my marriage, because I haven't abandoned myself, I feel confident. I'm not needy. And of course, my husband's energy is always coming towards me every single day. He was like this in the dating stage, and he is still like this, which I absolutely love. Every single day, he's like, babe, what do you need? Babe, what do you need? I got you. You need a massage? Let me book you a massage. He did that 2 days ago. You need a massage, babe? Let me book you a massage. It takes me to a spa, went and got a nice 2-hour massage, come out of the spa, and he has a box of fresh, warm cookies for me. Right? He's like, peptides, what peptides you need, babe? What supplements you want? You want to get your hair done? Go. That's how he is all day, every day. Why? Because he knew in the dating stage that this is the type of girl I am, right? I'm not in entitlement energy at all. I love my family and I serve my family in everything that I do, but I'm not going to abandon myself. So for you, my loves, what is it that you need to feel confident again in your body or just in your life? Have you been neglecting your hormones, my loves? That is one of the biggest things that you can start with. This is why I'm a hormone coach. This is a big focus of the Feminine Energy Academy, is not only your nervous system and your feminine energy, but it's your hormones. Because especially if you're over 40, the perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause stage, it can make you feel more stressed. It could cause you to put on weight that you never used to have before. It could cause your libido to go down. You could have that brain fog, or you're just feeling fatigued. That's not how you feel cute. That's not how you feel hot, right? If you're PMSy or you're perimenopause, menopause, no. So we got to balance out those hormones, girls. So you're nice and calm, you're nice and regulated. You can release that weight that you're holding on to, and you can just feel good. I mean, dating takes energy, right? Marriage takes energy, but it's so fun and it's so rewarding, especially when you do it the way that Coach B and I teach. Our ladies have fun with dating. They're getting spoiled already in the dating stage. They're getting spoiled. They're getting flown out. Their guys are flying to come see them. They're getting engaged. They're getting married. All these amazing things are happening. Why? Because they did the stuff that we teach our ladies all day, every day. So speaking of which, tomorrow, before I get to point number 3, Tomorrow, I'm doing a masterclass. This is free for all the new ladies in there, and it's how to get snatched by the summer. So, I'm going to help you customize your own fail proof plan. And I've done this with thousands of women, so I know it works. Your own fail proof plan on how you can get snatched by this summer. So, what I mean by that is, you're losing that stubborn belly weight, we're balancing out your hormones. You are just feeling so confident by the time summer comes so that you can show up with different energy. Okay. So maybe you got 5, 10 pounds you want to lose. Maybe you got 50 or 100 pounds you want to lose. Come to this masterclass. Or if you're watching the replay right now, you can also access the replay in the Feminine Energy Academy. Okay. And so, point number 3. So, we talked about you're not going to obsess about any man anymore. Okay. Instead, you're going to take all that energy and you're going to obsess about your glow. So, the first thing is you're going to obsess about your aura, your energy field, the energy that you're giving off that maybe you don't realize. And that has a lot to do with just your nervous system and your energy and your wounds and just re regulating. Okay. And the second thing we talked about that you're going to start obsessing about is your body, but in a healthy way, not in a self judgment, pick yourself apart way, because that's not going to help you. And other people mirror your thoughts. So if you beat yourself up and you don't think you're attractive, that's why other people don't find you attractive. You got to find yourself attracted. You got to be in hot girl energy. I don't care how old you are. We're in the era of aging backwards anyway, right? But you've got to be in this energy of, I'm going to obsess about my body in a healthy way. Plus, it's going to allow you to take all that energy off of a guy and just focus on you for a moment. Okay? Catch your breath, girl. All right? And then the third thing that I want you to obsess about moving forward so you can totally stay detached from a man is obsess about your new vision for your life. Have new goals, have a new vision for you. What's something that lights you up? What's something that gets you excited? See, men are obsessed with a woman who has her own life. Yes, he needs to know that there's space for him. That's really important because, we got like the boss babes, the career women who are so focused on their business and their career, and there's no space for the masculine. And a lot of times that's rooted in they don't actually trust the masculine. So they've learned to be so self reliant that they're just, I'll just go make my own money and I'll just go do that. Well, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But you really need to make sure that there is still space for the masculine, the right masculine, the aligned masculine to come in and play a role in your life. Because if he doesn't feel like there's space, he is not going to force himself onto you. So you really need to understand that a healthy masculine man will never force himself on you. If you're too busy and you're too focused on just your work or your business, he's not going to feel like there's space for him. So what I teach our ladies, and Coach B and I teach our ladies, is you get to have it all. You get to be hot. You get to have balanced hormones and a regulated nervous system. You can make your bed, girl. You can have your business. You can do all the things that light you up, and there's still space to have a healthy relationship with a masculine provider energy man. But you can't do it the way that you're seeing people do it online. That's why it's not working. That's why you'll see women, celebrities, influencers, where they are, you know, they're making maybe lots of money, but they're struggling in their love life. Or they have a great love life, but they're struggling financially, or they're with someone that's not a provider, right? Or they have a lot of extra weight that they're carrying around because they're so focused on business, they're so focused on work that they are just packing on all this weight and neglecting their hormones. What I teach our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy is how you have it all, how you can release the weight, that hormone weight, how you can age backwards, how you can be in your soft feminine energy, how you can keep polarity. This is important. Keep polarity with the masculine in the dating stage and in the marriage stage, where you can look good, you feel good, your aura is good, you're just super magnetic everywhere you go because of the things that I teach. All right, so you get to have it all, ladies. Let me have a sip of my water here. Somebody said, oh, and it looks like this is a guy too. Men get obsessed over a woman that they can't have. See? There you go. Men get obsessed. And I don't know if you saw at the beginning, but I was like, men will not be obsessed with you if you're obsessed with him. A man, the man that you're dating right now, or in a situationship with right now will not be obsessed with you if you're obsessed with him. So men need that space to come towards you. Like I was saying, right? Just think of the sperm. This is not Natasha's idea. This is how God has created the masculine. He has been designed to chase, to hunt, to pursue, to compete, to be challenged for the prize, for the thing that he wants. Like that sperm coming towards the egg. That is how he releases vasopressin, ladies. And that vasopressin is that hormone that a man releases that helps him bond to you and get attached to you. How does he release the vasopressin? He releases the vasopressin when you have other stuff going on. Those three things I was talking about earlier, focus on those things. You're not always available. You're not playing games. Playing games does not work with healthy men. That might work with toxic, unhealthy men, but playing games will not work with a healthy, masculine energy man. But a healthy provider, high quality, masculine energy man is looking for a woman who has her life together. Things are not perfect, but she's having fun within her own life. She's not looking for a man to make her happy. That's really important. So a lot of women often will be in this energy of either they're numb and they're shut down because they've been so wounded and they're like screw men whatever and they'll just settle for a situationship, or they'll be in this energy of like, I need to get married. I need to get married. I want to have babies. I wanted this. I really, or, you're lonely. That frequency is also going to turn off men. Okay. Or maybe you've met a great guy. Here's another thing I see all the time with the ladies. You've met a great guy, his energy is coming towards you, but then you're all of a sudden getting exclusive with him. You're always available because, he's saying all the right things. And now you're obsessed with this guy. And then you're wondering why he hasn't stepped up. You're wondering why he hasn't taken things to the next level. And he's dragging his feet because you have lowered your standards. You got exclusive with a guy that has not earned that right in your life yet. And so he has nothing to chase, right? Okay, so my male coworkers always ask me, what am I doing? Oh, the glow up. Okay. Oh, yeah. And Kiara's in the Feminine Energy Academy. So I'm not surprised. So that is a great sign, Kiara, that people are always asking, hey, what are you doing? And this happens all the time with our ladies, by the way, where they go around and people are coming up to them and they're like, what are you doing? Things are changing. That is a great sign that you have taken all your energy off of the guy and you're using it on your own glow up. Okay. And doesn't that feel so good? It feels so good to not be so attached to a man when you're dating. When you're in that dating stage, you want to be neutral. You don't want to be numb. You don't want to be hardened. You don't want the wall up, but you want to be emotionally neutral as a woman so that when it doesn't matter if he calls you or he doesn't call you, it doesn't matter what he's doing because you're just unbothered. And that's what makes you so, exactly what Kara's saying, sexy and mysterious. That's what makes men want to be with that woman. That's when, and I could even tell this when we were dating, Coach B and I, things were happening and I was not freaking out. I was not triggered. I was not in this like anxious, desperate energy. I wasn't in any needy energy at all. And of course, I gave him space to figure things out. And then what happened? His energy was always coming towards me because I gave him that space, right? So that's what happens. So ladies, for the new people that join the Feminine Energy Academy right now, we have a new thing going on right now where when you first jump in, you actually can book a one-on-one call with Coach B and you can tell him your scenario, what's going on, and he can help you just get started because we have so many different programs in the Feminine Energy Academy. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet for everything that it is that you want. Okay. So when you first come in, you can book that call as well. And it's free for the first 7 days to try it out. We have had such amazing success with our women. This is why we give you ladies that free 7-day trial because I will guarantee you will experience shifts within yourself within the first 24 hours. Yeah. Okay. Yep, Belinda here. I can testify. Ooh, hey, Belinda. I'm seeing all my FEA ladies. I love it. Okay. Yep. See, my girls know Kiara's like needy energy is being in a man's face. It's the social media, constantly thinking about him. Yeah, see, the girls know. They know. And ladies, it's one of those things that is just a matter of time. When you take your energy off of the guy, whether you're dating or married, you start obsessing about you. And Belinda has lost 80 pounds, okay? 82 pounds. All right. So she knows what I'm talking about here as well. And people are complimenting her. So, ladies, when you got to trust the process. When you take time and you stop obsessing about the guy and you take time and you start working on your body, you work on your hormones, you work on your nervous system, you do things that light you up, you work on your own business, you work on things that you've just been wanting to do. Take a dance class. I mean, we had another lady, couple, who came to us and they were basically signing divorce papers, okay? And she had tried everything, very much anxious attachment style when she first came to us over a year ago, healed the attachment style, really learned how to detach, had a huge glow up, lost a bunch of weight, was doing stuff for her hair, but most importantly, really working on her internal glow up. Marriage completely turned around. Okay. And the crazy thing is, she was doing it not because of him, she was doing it to keep her own sanity, which is so important, ladies. Like, you're doing this for your own sanity, your own sanity. What I always teach you, ladies, is the man is the bonus. He's the bonus. We're not doing this for the masculine. You're doing this for you. And he'll, for my ladies that are maybe single right now, because that was me not that long ago. This was, I mean, 2 years ago, I was still single, right? So what happens is when you have done a lot of stuff that I've been teaching, where you're working on your nervous system, you're working on your body, you're feeling good, you're enjoying life, you're just more mentally present, you're more calm, you're more regulated, you're spending more time with your kids and your girlfriends, and you're not any needy, desperate energy. You don't have like these really high highs anymore and these really low lows anymore. You're just like neutral. You're just calm. And it's not that you're numb and you don't care. It's just that you're just neutral. It's such a good feeling for women that are so used to chaos, especially single moms like how I was, where everything was just chaotic. Money is chaotic. Dating is chaotic. Everything is just chaotic. When you come out of that, and you're just doing the stuff that I teach in the Feminine Energy Academy, and you're just calm every day. You're just neutral. You're like no high highs, no low lows. You're working on yourself and you're not even thinking about it. That's what that true detachment really is. You're not doing it so you hope that he comes back. You don't even care because you deep down know that it's him or someone better. Right? Like, you're embodied in that energy. That was the energy I was embodied in when Coach B came back into the picture. Okay. So I took a break from dating and I was just working on me. I was working on being more neutral, not all over the place, not emotional, everything like that. Worked on my nervous system, worked on healing my love blocks, my receiving blocks, doing things that really were lighting me up. And then, I decided I was going to go back on the dating scene. But before I went back on the dating scene, Coach B came back into the picture. And, I was like, okay, how is this going to be different this time? And he knew, because I, stopped talking to him a few months before that. He knew he needed to come back proper. And he was just like, I'm going to marry you. I want to marry you. I was like, okay. And even still then, I wasn't getting all attached. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, yes. I mean, obviously I was happy, but I stayed detached. I stayed working on the things that I talked about on this live stream. Working on my aura, working on my energy, working on my nervous system, working on my hormones, having my own life, doing all those things. And then, he knew that he had to step up. So he ended up coming to Canada and was like, okay, I want to marry you. And so he was showing me that he was following through with the things that he said he was going to do. Otherwise, he would have never seen me again. And, we were engaged in 8 months. We were married 3 months after that. We ended up moving, and now we're living our best freaking life. And of course, this is why I help so many of my girls, my ladies, especially my single mamas, because I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like when women are just spinning their wheels and the guy is just not stepping up. And the biggest challenge that I see with most women is that it's like, you know, this at a head knowledge, but emotionally you're still attached to the guy. You're emotionally still hopeful that, you know, this one guy is going to be the guy, that he's going to step up. And then a lot of times you compromise your boundaries, right? Like, okay, I'll just sleep with him. I'll just do this with him. I'll just do that with him. And you're not requiring him to do what he needs to do. So there's still that uncertainty there. There's still that confusion there, but you're tolerating it, right? Situations happen with even the smartest women, the most successful women, the most beautiful women. I see it all the time. The situationships still happen. A situationship is, there's no timeline with engagement. You guys are just kind of just dating, right? Or like you're together, but you're not really together, or you're off and then you're on. That's a situationship. Okay. And I see so many successful, amazing, good hearted women stay stuck in that position specifically because you haven't followed through on your boundaries with him. You told him that things need to change, right? You told him that things need to change. He said things were going to change. Maybe they changed temporarily, but then they stopped. And then, but you're still with him because you miss him when you guys are not together. I know this because I coach you ladies all day, every day. But that's not what makes a man change. That's not what makes a man completely obsessed with you. There was even a guy in the chat saying that, right? Like the only way he's going to change, the only way he's going to be obsessed with you is if he knows that if he doesn't come proper, you're going to walk away. And you actually walk away, ladies. If you walk away and then a week later you guys are back together, or you're hooking up, or you're responding to his text messages or whatever it is, that's how you're shooting yourself in the foot. He knows that he doesn't actually have to change. You can tell him everything you want. Men are not moved by what you say. Men are moved by your presence and your absence, ladies. Okay? If he knows you're not going anywhere, you are now his chew toy. I call it his chew toy because it doesn't matter. You're just going to be there. He knows you're just going to be there. Okay? So, super, super important. And the thing is, you want to ask yourself, why am I not following through on boundaries with myself? Why do I keep compromising my standards? Why do I keep letting this guy back in? Why? And I'll tell you why. This is what happens. Because you know he's not good for you, or he's not stepping up. There's stuff that you do like about him. There's stuff that maybe you love about him, but he's not fully stepping up. And then you guys maybe break apart, but then you miss him so much. And then you're not taking time to actually heal. Okay? If you actually pause dating and take time to actually heal your attachment style, healing your nervous system, healing and really understanding why you're so attached to this guy, or why you keep repeating the same patterns over and over again, you're not going to keep experiencing this. Either he's going to step up or he's going to fall away. And I know this to be true because I coach women all day, every day, and I see it. The guy either steps up in dating and marriage, or he falls away and makes space for the right guy that's meant for you. You, my love, cannot heal in the same place that made you sick. But if you don't change anything, nothing is going to change. You can't wait for a guy to change. He's not going to change. That's not how men are wired. The masculine responds to the feminine. So when you make these shifts, when you let go, stop obsessing about him. And if you struggle with that, of course, the FEA will help you with that. But you're able to actually emotionally, energetically let go of this guy, give him space and trust that it's either he's going to step up or the right guy's going to come in the picture. That's when he gets triggered. That's when he's like, oh my gosh, I might lose this girl, or I've lost this girl. And that's when they start freaking out and start making the changes that they need to make. I see this all the time, all day, every day with the ladies. Okay? So if you're seeing this, you're seeing it for a reason. This is your sign. to take time to stop obsessing about the guy and start obsessing about you. Start obsessing about the things we talked about today, the three things, right? You're going to obsess about your aura that you're giving off. So it means you're going to be obsessing about regulating your nervous system, your emotions. You're going to, number two, obsess about your body and your hormones. So you have something else to focus on, right? Your glow up so you can feel hot and confident. And the third thing is you're going to obsess about your own life vision, your own life purpose. When you have your own life vision, your own life purpose, things that make you happy, things that light you up, that's what makes you so magnetic to the masculine, okay? He wants to be with a woman that is so confident in herself, that looks good. Like Coach B always says, you got to look good, ladies. You are the right type of pretty for your husband, promise you. But you got to feel confident. You got to feel like you're hot. You got to feel good in your body. And tomorrow, of course, I'm doing a whole masterclass on how to get snatched by the summer so you can have your fail-proof plan to feel really good, lose weight, feel good in your hormones by the summertime. Okay, so you can jump in. The link is in my bio. And if you want to watch a replay, you can watch a replay. Once you jump into the Feminine Energy Academy, let me know why you are in there. And Coach B can book a call with you, or sorry, you can book a call with Coach B. He can help you as well. And we have so many programs in there in the Feminine Energy Academy. We have programs around weight loss and hormones. We have programs around your feminine energy. We teach you how to communicate with the masculine. We teach you the man's perspective. We teach you about how to keep polarity in the dating stage and in the marriage stage as well. Sorry, I was like reading a comment there. Okay. And those are the tools that you want to be confident. We teach you how to actually date online. A lot of our ladies have met their fiance and their husband online in different countries. We coach women from across the globe. Okay. All right. I'll answer this last question. So, Scar Slay said, I met a healthy masculine man. I had never experienced a man like that. Grew up with wounded masculine energy. Okay, dad, all that stuff. So I started healing, attracted this man. Okay, that's a good sign. Then I got triggered and blew it. Should I message him? No, you shouldn't. What you should do is actually skill up. So we see this a lot with our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, where they come in, they do some inner healing. And actually, I went through this stage, by the way, so I understand this. So you do some inner healing, you attract a really good quality man, and then you get triggered, or maybe he's not fully showing up, and then it kind of falls apart. What that tells me is there's a little bit more inner work you got to do. So it could be energetic work. It could be work where, so this is what I had to do, and a lot of women I coach have to do, where there might be something there where you're not fully feeling safe to receive the masculine fully. So then you'll self-sabotage it to push him away, because subconsciously you don't actually feel safe to go that next level because it feels new for you. Okay, so I had to go through that as well, heal that. And then the second thing is actually skilling up, because it could be a thing where you just need to learn how to communicate better with him, so that, this is why we do teach our ladies a lot around how to have those uncomfortable conversations. How do you actually speak to the masculine, what to say and what never to say to a man ever. And these are really important skills for a woman to have. Okay, so I definitely encourage you to get those skills. Of course, we teach you in the FEA, but that's gonna be the game changer. But don't go messaging him, because now you're in that chasing energy with him, and you've lost leverage and you've lost that polarity. Okay. Anyway, ladies, I love you so much. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the Feminine Energy Academy for our masterclass tomorrow.